Well, hello there. It's Dr. Jim Collins. Thank you for stopping by. I have a great topic, and it's one that I've written about in my book, Living Longer and Stronger with CBD, where I look at a whole host of physical disorders and the research findings using CBD on these disorders. And the one that I want to talk about today is CBD and how it can be effective for gastrointestinal disorders or GI problems. So, first of all, we know that millions of people suffer from digestive and gastrointestinal distress every day, and the symptoms can range between mild and unpleasant to painful and actually very life threatening. So, according to the American Nutrition Association, 70 million people experience symptoms associated with GERD, which is gastroesophageal disorder, irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, abdominal pain, indigestion, constipation, and diarrhea. These are the most common ones. And while there are prescription medications out there, there are over the counter treatments, so on and so forth, and they might be effective. So I'm not downplaying the importance of medications, but some of them do come with unpleasant side effects and sometimes dangerous side effects. And that's why healthcare providers and individuals who are dealing with GI problems might be turning to CBD for relief. So let's talk about the gastrointestinal system for a moment. This is an amazing and very highly complex system. It's actually the largest system in the body and consists of organs that break down food into smaller, absorbable nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, as well as their accompanying vitamins, minerals, and other nutritional elements. The majority of digestion and absorption takes place in the small intestine, which measures around 25 feet. That's amazing, I know. The colon, or the large intestine, on the other hand, provides water absorption and the release of non absorbable food and waste and measures in at around 5 feet in length. So, here are some GI disorders that you might be aware of. Two of the most common ones are constipation and irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. And these are referred to as functional disorders because the GI tract actually appears normal, but it doesn't work properly. There are also disorders that are called structural disorders because the bowel itself does appear abnormal and also doesn't work the way that it should. So, inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis are issues that people are dealing with. Crohn's disease can impact the entire GI system, but usually affects the terminal ileum or where the small intestine meets the large intestine. Crohn's disease causes inflammation. You're going to hear that time and time again with GI problems. Inflammation of the GI tract, which causes things like swelling, ulceration, and so on. People with Crohn's disease experience symptoms including diarrhea, fever, weight loss, vitamin deficiency, which can get dangerous, and abdominal pain. So, where does CBD come into play here? What I want to talk about briefly is the endocannabinoid system itself and CBD or CB receptors, which are cells all over our body and our brains. So the endocannabinoid system is a very important human system that is important for homeostasis and balance in all of our organ systems and throughout the body. If our endocannabinoid system is out of balance, it's not healthy, we can see lots of different types of symptoms, including GI problems. The point of using CBD is to feed the endocannabinoid system exactly what it needs. And science has shown that our GI tract, this is important because it's a key, is loaded with CB receptors. So that's the most important part of understanding how CBD can heal or better manage symptoms of GI disorders. Let me talk about very specific research findings. Early studies examining CBD and colitis in mice, so it's a preclinical study, found that it reduced intestinal hypermotility and inflammation. And one study found that CBD actually prevented colitis in mice. There are many researchers who believe that CBD can become a new therapeutic in treating the inflammation that accompanies many of the GI disorders, including inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD. It's also been demonstrated in multiple studies that endocannabinoids are found throughout the GI system and are involved in many GI functions, including regulation of food intake, gastroprotection, nausea and vomiting, GI motility, and intestinal inflammation. So it is therefore believed that CBD can help manage symptoms of gastrointestinal disorders. Some experts in cannabinoid research believe that CBD can be taken either by itself to relieve symptoms or in combination with traditional anti-IBD drugs. So beyond the anti-inflammatory properties, it's also been pointed out in research that CBD has very powerful antioxidant effects that could be helpful in maintaining our gut health. And hopefully you're reading up. If you haven't, please do so. The gut-brain connection, gut health in general, so on and so forth. CBD can also have a very positive effect on muscle contraction, which creates pain, and absorption in water in the stool and leads to either diarrhea or constipation. So there you have it. I think my final thoughts about this would be GI problems are a huge issue, huge health issue for a lot of people in the United States and around the world. And while there are traditional, prescription medications and over-the-counter treatments, I would certainly give those a try, but I would also give CBD a try. Research is telling us that it can be effective in managing. It's not going to cure a thing. There's nothing out there that actually does, but it can help in managing symptoms. So there you have it. I'm Dr. Jim. Stay in touch with me. Email me anytime, jim@collinslearning.com. Visit sapphire-essentials.com. I'd love to hear from you. Take care, and I hope to hear from you soon.